Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in this video I want to share with you an exciting attacking game played by the 11th world chess champion Robert James Fischer. In this game Fischer is going to unleash a brutal king hunt. His opponent is American chess player Erik Delwin Osbun, and the game was played in 1964 in Davis during a 10-board clock simul. Fischer had white pieces and he opened up with e4, to which Osbun answered with e5. Nf3 Nc6, bishop c4. Italian game is on the board, bishop c5, and there we have it, the razor-sharp Evans Gambit is on the board. I think that this is a perfect opening choice when playing a simul, an exhibition game. Bishop goes on a5, d4, and after e takes d4, Fischer castled kingside. d6, well, not the best continuation. Modern theory recommends knight ge7, and if knight g5, then d5. Instead in the game we see d6, queen b3, hitting on f7, a standard move in Evans Gambit. White is usually starting to put pressure by relying on the weakness of a2 g8 and a3 f8 diagonals. Queen goes on d7. Black is covering the 7th rank, but is doing it at the cost of blocking the light-squared bishop's diagonal, thus in future making it hard to develop. C takes d4, bishop b6. There was no need to move this bishop. Better was a6, for example, preventing bishop b5 or knight d8. But in the game we see bishop b6, and the problem with this move is that after bishop b5 black is facing serious problems. We have a very nasty pin and the threat is d5. If a6 we can just move back the bishop on a4, keeping the pin. In the game black decided to move away the king from the dangerous diagonal, and now to d5 black can answer with knight a5, counterattack white queen, and you no longer win this queen on d7 with a check, something which we see in the game. Knight a5 was met with queen a4, c6, d takes c6, b takes c6, bishop d3, knight b7, knight c3, knight c5, queen c2, knight e7. Yeah, it's somewhat problematic to castle by hand. Meanwhile, white is developing all his pieces, is connecting his rooks, and is getting ready to land a heavy punch. Knight f4, this is a mistake and will cost black a pawn. Better was playing, for example, queen e7, moving away the queen from this d file. If e5, then just knight takes e5, and black is doing okay. Instead, in the game after rook fd1 we see knight f4, and now the vulnerability of the d file will play a key role. King goes on g8, and there followed knight e5, queen c7, knight c4. Now how are you going to protect the pawn on d6? Looks like no way, and the pawn on d6 drops. Rook d8, e5. So black gave back the pawn, or I would rather say lost it. Now we have a material equality, but of course white is dominating. This black king is awkwardly placed, and we have a monster on d6. f6, which is weakening the king side further, and black's position will soon start to collapse. Knight c4, meanwhile white is intensifying the pressure. Queen goes back on c8, knight c5, bishop d5, d7. Just no way to stop the aggression of white pieces. g3, knight e6. An exchange of knights on e6 followed, and bishop c4. White gives black no time to win the pawn on d7. King f7, bishop takes e6 check. King takes e6. Suddenly black king gets exposed and now will fall victim to white's aggression. Queen c4 check, king g6. Well, if king f8, then queen c5 check can follow. If here, then check. And then another check, and a similar position, just this position we will see in our game. So in the game we will reach that position with a different move order. There it goes. We see that position after king g6, rook e7. Already white is threatening to intrude inside opponent's camp. I don't know, maybe a check from g4 is also playable. Rook g8, rook e1. Fischer is missing a quick victory which starts with queen f7. If king h6, then rook e4. Instead we see rook e1. But still white keeps advantage and this is winning. King h6, rook e6. Now the threat is rook takes f6. Rook goes on f8, and the move which asks itself to be played. What's white's next move? Actually, with rook f8, black didn't prevent rook takes f6, and we have it. A rook sacrifice is on the board, and now white will harass black king further. h4 check, king g4, rook e4 check. Not the most accurate move. King g2 wins faster. Instead we see rook e4 check, king h3, queen f5 check, rook g4. And now question arises, how should we finish up this king which just went too far, you know? Here we go, rook takes g4, and after h takes g4, Fischer played queen d3 and forced a resignation. Queen f1 checkmate is coming and there is no defense. That's why at this point Erik, Delwin, Osbun resigned. A nice game by Fischer. This was an Evans Gambit, a very entertaining opening, never boring, always interesting to follow games where Evans Gambit was played, and of course Fischer finishes up the game in a dashing style by going for a brutal king hand. I'm sure you enjoyed this game, and in the end a chess puzzle for you where the task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in my next video.